ears allow us to enjoy the magic of music. But what happens when we hear an instrument played? What happens is that waves are created in the air that surrounds us, and these expanding ripples of pressure are the sound detected by our ears. Sound waves make the eardrum vibrate. The eardrum in turn transmits the signal to a tiny bone called the hammer, which beats on another bone known as the anvil. A third bone, the stirrup, passes on the amplified vibrations to the inner ear. Here we find the cochlea, and these ultrasensitive hairs the Corti organs, which tremble with every vibration. Sodium ion messengers swim about in a state of readiness. Inside the cell, there is much activity, just like the normal hustle and bustle we've seen in other cells. But when we penetrate the nucleus, we find a control room devoted to the measurement of sound.
Look, these are medium loud vibrations of about 80 decibels. Let's get them recorded. Polarize the cell. Let the sodium ion messengers in. They'll pass the signal on for us.
Huh? I can't hear anything. They told me I was assigned to a sound transmission unit.
That's absolutely right.
Why is it so quiet then?
Because we don't hear anything, you see. Our job is transmitting vibrations, their frequency, their amplitude, that's it.
I think I see what you mean. I suppose it must be the brain that turns the vibrations into sound.
Yes, that's where they do the hearing. Look at the screen. You can see the walls of the cell out there. Watch for the sodium ion messengers. Their job is to help the neurotransmitters.
All right, where to now?
I thought you knew.
What a shambles! Who's in charge?
I've got it, guys! The neurotransmitters are this way!
This way!
Come on, push harder. Some sodium ions don't pull their weight.
I'm not one of them.
Why don't you save your breath for pushing?
Look out, chaps, we're almost there! Unload the neurotransmitters for the auditory nerve!
That's how it's done. First of all, we register the vibrations, then pass them on as auditory nerve impulses to the brain.
So that's hearing, is it?
Not by a long chalk, my lad. You see, the signals we send can only be interpreted by the brain itself, and the messages we transmit have still got an awful long way to travel. The message is carried along the nerve cell until it reaches the nucleus with a control room very similar to our own. And when things are quiet outside the body, they're quiet inside it as well.
Right, this harmonic wave is only 65 decibels.
Speedy, your job is delivering messages, not reading them. Now take it to the 8th auditory nerve.
Music lovers in a hurry should be put away for life.
Look alive, men. Another message coming through.
So the impulse runs up the nerve cell until it has to jump to the next cell at a junction. We see the message relayed from cell to cell along the auditory nerve. Finally, the impulse reaches the brain, where it's converted into the sound we hear.
In the groove, Daddy-O, in the groove. Wonderful, isn't it? Simple sound vibrations, that's all they are. But when the ear has picked them up and the brain has processed them, they're pure magic. How the brain does it is a bit of a mystery, but what a marvel all the same.
Here, keep moving.
As I told you only yesterday, minute, I'm only late.
I can always leave Henry nearest if you don't feel up to
Well, they say that music calms the savage breast, but personally I find it rather stimulating.